So I'm not really sure how states this country are still talking about gun control when we've got so many other issues at play. And you know, the laundry list as far as that goes is so long. Who can even really calculate it all? But I wanted to talk about a specific bill that is just the most outrageous thing I've ever heard. So this bill was introduced by a very Democrat state, Washington. And whenever something like this happens, it's a problem for the rest of the country because other states say, well, if they did it, we can do it. It only takes one. Momentum is hard to stop. So when one does it, then another, then another, then another. We've seen it on our side as well with constitutional carry. A certain amount of states had it, then other states, and now more than half the country has it. But I just want to read this because this is scary. If you live in Washington, my God, you better hope that this is just someone trying to flex. So if this bill is passed, you would essentially need an AOK from the government to buy a gun. Not just a background check. They got a whole new laundry list of things. Here we go. A certificate of completion of a certified firearms safety training program within the last 5 years, or proof that the applicant is exempt from the training requirement. Why don't we just start with this? What would a certified firearms safety training program entail? Oh, you can put 5 rounds on a target 7 feet in front of you? Does that make you that good with a gun? Oh, you know how to eject a magazine? What's the point? If someone wants to own a gun, they're going to figure all those things out, right? People don't buy a $30,000 motorcycle and have no idea how to ride it and say, oh no, well, I'll just take it out and ride it down the street. The second one is good. They would have to pay for a permit application fee. Oh, really? Okay, so you want to essentially tax us more then. And yes, any fee that goes to the government is tax. And look, we don't need Ukraine or Israel or anyone else getting any more of our tax dollars. Okay? We don't. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. A person may apply for a permit to purchase firearms within the Washington State Patrol Firearms Background Check Program. What is that? You're doing a background check with a police officer? Why not just become a police officer at that point? If you're going through all the stuff that they have to do to become a police officer, you might as well get paid for it. Now we get to the good stuff. You would also have to send a complete set of fingerprints taken by local law enforcement in the jurisdiction in which the applicant resides. Okay, so then why not just buy all NFA items? Why not get an automatic weapon? Why not buy suppressors? If you're having to give your fingerprints, they don't just go to one place. No, they're going to go into a database to where the entire country can see them. But what if someone doesn't want to do that? What if someone has been a law-abiding citizen their entire life, haven't had to give their fingerprints up for anything, and now they want to go buy a gun to defend their family, their house, whatever it may be, target practice, go out hog hunting, the list goes on, and they don't want to give their fingerprints up. You're just denying them the right at that point. See, what a state like this is doing to the Second Amendment is they're turning it into a privilege, not a right. You have to prove to us that we will be okay with you owning this. You have to do this, this, and then we'll think about it. We'll think about it. This is bad. And when you look at all of the other issues going on in the country, and someone is focused on doing this, it kind of raises a few alarms. Like, you have nothing else to do in your state. Now we get to the most outrageous part of this, and my God, I swear to God, if this thing passes, Washington is going to have no Second Amendment because nobody's going to want to buy a gun. Everybody's going to move to a state where this isn't happening. Everyone, Blackout Coffee, huge supporter of the channel, huge Second Amendment loving company. My recommendations, Brutal Awakening for dark roast, and today we're going with cinnamon French toast for the flavored coffee. Unreal coffee. Even more importantly though, they have Operation Blackout where they donate 2 cups of coffee per bag sold to our deployed troops. And they also have partner blends like the GOA. They just dropped a whole bunch of brand new gear. This is one of the shirts. We're giving you a discount. The link's below the video. Go support them. More important than ever right now that we stick together. Listen to this. A signed application for a permit to purchase firearms shall constitute a waiver of confidentiality and written request that the healthcare authority, mental health institutions, and other healthcare facilities release information relevant to the applicant's eligibility for a permit to purchase firearms to an inquiring court or the Washington State Patrol Firearms Background Check Program. So what this means is that when you sign in order to buy a gun, what they're going to do is they're going to go through all your medical records. They're going to go through any other records that are on you. So let's say maybe you were going through a tough time in life, you went to a therapist, talk out your issues, whatever it may be. Nothing wrong with that. They can essentially hit them up and say, okay, what was this dude's issues? Do you think he should be able to own a gun? Also, they can see any medications you may be on. Anything related to health or mental health. I mean, at this point, why not just make it like life insurance? Have somebody come in, take your blood, test to see if, I don't know, you got heart disease or something. I mean, what are we doing here? You're giving up everything as far as privacy goes in order to participate in a right that is written out very clearly in this. Now here's the last part. The Washington State Patrol Firearms Background Check Program shall issue a permit to purchase firearms to an eligible applicant or deny the application within 30 days of the date the application was filed or within 60 days of when the application was filed if the applicant does not have a valid permanent Washington driver's license. Okay, so what are you denied for that they wouldn't already find on a background check? Yeah, we called this guy's therapist because he did 3 tours in Iraq, and he said he was just struggling and sad one day. So yeah, I don't think he should be able to own a firearm because he's sad and was struggling with some stuff. Is that what you guys are going to deny people for? People who are going out to seek help? You know how many people in this country commit suicide, right? You know how many veterans commit suicide? I don't know the statistics on it, but I'm willing to bet that most of those people either felt like they couldn't talk to anybody about their issues or felt like they weren't a man because of it, whatever it may be. And now you guys putting this stuff out, do you think that's going to help the cause? Do you think this is going to make it easier for men to find help for mental health when they're going through stuff and feel like they can't talk to anybody? Probably not.